All right, weaponizing propaganda is one beautiful thing, and America have learned to weaponize propaganda. It was with weaponizing propaganda that America have the is it demarketed many countries, okay, that have posed threat to them, including even Nigeria with our fraudulent character. It was through the propagandas and selling this propaganda through influencers and movies that Nigeria came to accept that we're a scammers nation. Although there are other restrictions that followed it, but these are still propaganda because you're still taking our doctors into your system, our medical personnel, you're still training our army. We still came from your policies. We run almost so it doesn't make sense. Propaganda is not bad. It's who weaponizes it the most. With propaganda, America have made movie making the Arab nations look all evil, yet they run programs in Arab nations and also get their interpreters, but make everybody look like a suicide bomber and the rest. But it's weaponizing propaganda. Do you know that in selling your movies and using your influencers to push for your propaganda to build your nation, you can see during this war between Iran and America was able to push a propaganda that is so amazing. They say $1 is equivalent to 1.375 Iranian coin. Each of those coins is made of copper and iron ore. This copper alloy, one of the coin has at least copper of 1,800 grams and 600 grams of nickel, which if you now just one of the coin, but $1 is equivalent to 1.3 million of that coin. So if you multiply the quantity by the million, that means $1 will get you at least 2.4 kg of this copper and nickel alloy, which in a ratio of 600 kg and 1.8 kg of copper and alloy. Now, 600 kg of copper of nickel is sold for over 9.8 or $9,873. Meanwhile, the 1,800 kg or 1.8 kg of copper that you get from spending $1 in purchasing this coin will give you over $24,000. Do you understand? That means in total $1, if you recycle it in purchasing Iranian coin, you will have you can comfortably have $33,900 just because you use $1 to purchase. Do you see that it doesn't make sense? But it's a real statistics that look true. The problem is the country protects this nickel from leaving the country. So you cannot just bring $1 and buy plenty nickel and go and melt it and take it out. It's a currency. It has legal tenders protecting it. The only way you can touch and access to melt it is only when you go through illegal means. But these are propagandas that America will push, making the country currency look very weak, and people would think America has more wealth than the Iranians. The Iranians. But that's not the point. I'm just saying how you push propaganda. Nigeria needs to learn how to push propaganda, even in the fight of terrorism. Make the terrorists look bloody. Make it unappetizing that people will be so. Northern parents and other parents will be so ashamed to hear that their children join bandits because of the way Nigeria have used movie and influencers to abuse or insult this terrorist office, to make it derogating, show derogating things about them. It's propaganda, is a right use of propaganda. Do you know that Nigerian movie have not done well to sell Nigeria? Okay, you saw what Osofia in London, there's this influencer, she made a video saying what they call Ghana must go bag in her country is Osofia, and they got it from the movie Osofia in London. That movie sold Nigeria, and a producer and a businessman that start producing that bag, people like the bag, and the only way they can recognize that bag is in the Nigerian movie Osofia in London. Nigeria sold that market to that country. And when they talk about that quality bag, because it's the best bag they have in that place, they talk about the quality and they talk about Nigeria. My point is, we have to sell more propaganda. We have to use movies to sell what we want as our narrative. Do you know that we make movies that want to play in Netflix, but we don't even find a way to tell stories that are not romantic always? Stories that talk about how EFCC staffs suffer to get one politician arrested, and how many EFCC or ICPC or NAFDAC or Dora Akuyele story of how they have died trying to fight the Nigerian corruption, of how they have suffered in trying to make a better Nigeria. There are politicians that have actually tried to be good ones and they were kicked out of the system. We don't tell much of this story. We don't have a story that represents or counter the negative vibes or negative analogies that the world have portrayed Nigeria to be. And the government only want to tax every system. They don't contribute to the system. How do you get these logical histories to the people? How do you also help them promote nationality to that extent? This is a true fact. Healing Nigeria is not a political thing. I will always say this. Nigeria cannot have a messiah. Okay? Don't tell me that if Peter Obi win now, Peter Obi alone as a person have all solutions to Nigeria problem. The last president that has that ideology is in his grave now. May so rest in peace, my best president, Muhammadu Buhari. But he's resting in peace now. He thought only one man can build the institution, Nigeria. No, holistically, we have to build Nigeria. Nobody should be hiding idea. The other day, they were asking Peter Obi, what would you do in security? He said, when it's his turn, he will do it. No, the point is not for you to be the president. The point is for Nigeria to be there. This is Change Catalyst. I think we should let's start selling other notions about Nigeria. That's the only thing I like about Reno Mercury. He sells good story about Nigeria now that it's favoring him. He sells good story about Nigeria now that it's favoring him. But you know now, a bad man is a bad man. All right, let me hear. What story have you sold? Have you sold Nigeria? Politicians send their children to abroad. They go there competing with lifestyle. That's also negative selling. Nigerian people that have tried to hustle and they did not make it, they go with desperation abroad. They give Nigeria a bad name, like what is happening in South Africa. What has Nigeria done to tell the story of a young man that had nothing, the very dark man story? People that had nothing, but they have strived in this economy to become great. And that is how Nigerian youth should be seen. And not the lazy youth story. Like we sold the Nigeria youth is lazy more than we sold. And that's why Pella can be a billionaire. Because we saw rubbish story of how to make quick wealth rather than a good name that Bible say is bigger than riches. Change Catalyst will create the change and remain unchanged.